Okay, drive. Welcome. Say hello.
A couple questions for you.
Okay.
I'm sure they'd love to answer them. It is really good to see you guys today. Okay. Well, I mean, it's what a rivalry game is supposed to be like, right? I mean, from the get-go, this thing was a back-and-forth dogfight, very physical game. You know, we felt really good about our increase and our improvement in our physicality over the course of the offseason, the spring and the summertime, and the first few games. So we felt that this was going to be a great matchup, and the game proved to be just that. And the emphasis of playing every single down and straining as if every single play could possibly define the game, you know, end up proving something that fell in our favor today. But all the credit, every single ounce of it, to those players in that locker room for just buying into a process that, you know, back in January, it's very different when you go to a blueprint like we did, and it's very hard and it's very demanding. But I think when you have moments like this, it validates all that stuff and more. So we do feel like we're just getting started. We do feel that we have to continue to improve in a lot of areas, but certainly what a day. What a day. And the biggest thank you to everyone in that stadium, and even those that were outside. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a tough time hearing, and there's going to be some heads ringing all night. And what a blessing that is, to have the support, to have the energy, the juice, the enthusiasm. I mean, when that field goal went wide, it was an explosion that, wow, hard to compare that to anything I've ever been around. So a huge thank you to them, and we'll continue to work hard to make them proud.
Front middle, Tyson.
You have two starting offensive linemen out. You're running with two
You had to
freshmen.
remind me of that, huh? Thanks.
Two freshman running backs. That last play there, I know obviously a lot set up to that, but you know what did you guys see there? And you know,
The very last play. Well, two linemen being out, that part, it's difficult. It's difficult, but we trust Brady Aiello and we trust Capra. Like, I mean, we consider those guys in our circles as co-starters for the amount of repetition that they've had at their particular spots, and they're good performers. When they went down, is that a tough thing to overcome? It is, but I think the mindset of the team since the inception of, you know, installing this blueprint has been that this day is coming, and it came today, and those guys showed out. In terms of the last play, we called a timeout because when we were going to run what we were going to run, they were in what we call drop 8. Okay, so the windows, when the field is that wide, okay, when it's when the passing windows are so horizontally stretched out, and they have an extra guy in cover, it's going to be hard. The windows are small, thus running the risk of an interception, and we didn't want to do that. So with that being said, we regrouped, called a timeout, almost pulled a hamstring sprinting down there on the sideline. But we got the timeout, we discussed it, and felt, you know what, we got a chance to get 2 double teams on the down guys, and it's going to be whether, you know, CJ could run through an arm tackle and beat the safety or not. And at the worst case, we'll find ourselves in a field goal situation or a decision on 4th and 1 from the goal line, which we intended to go for. We were going to go for the win. So we went for a lot of 4th downs today. I'm sure I'll catch some flack for that. But we were going to stay aggressive. Great call by Marcus. Great idea by Marcus Arroyo, and it worked out well.
On the right, Ryan. Third row, back.
Mario, did you have a plan going in to the season just on your philosophy on calling timeouts when kickers are lining up for winning field goals? And just what's that feeling like? Is it kind of a helpless feeling, just trying to ice him and hope that you go to overtime?
Yeah, it's not fun. You know, it's really not fun. It's something you watch since you were a kid, right? Monday Night Football. And you always ask yourself, why do you ice a kicker? Like, why do you actually do that? Well, if we have timeout, I'm going to keep doing that. That's for sure. But, I mean, you don't have any other plays. You don't, right? It's kick it or not. So we just kept playing, just kept believing. We thought we could get some good push too, try to get a block on that thing. But, you know, it worked out well for us. The game went into overtime, and this time we finished the job.
Second row, middle, James.
Mario, how were you able to consistently get Dylan Mitchell open, and can you walk us through that 3rd and 11, the whole thought process of the whole play in order to obviously put yourselves in position to win
They
there?
mix up their coverages. You know, a lot of times you see us, I don't want to get too much into it to see how we're able to decipher coverages to help our quarterback, but by what we do formationally and from our motions and whatnot, the quarterback has a really good indicator where, you know, not only to find Dylan, but, you know, the rest of his progression. Dylan isn't always the primary target, but certain times when you have man coverage or where there are some matchup, you know, opportunities, we'll take them, you know, and certainly we've done a lot of that over the past 3 weeks, right? It's obvious with the production, the amount of times we've targeted Dylan, but we felt that we could get it. Obviously, the holding penalty was something that was brutal for us to have in a situation like that, but it goes back to what we kept stressing to our players and emphasizing about playing the next play. It's always going to be about the next play, and we did. Protection was good. Dylan did a heck of a job getting out of his break, and what can you say? Justin once again put it on the money, and we kept the sticks moving.
Back right, Steve.
Mario, starting with the 4th and 1 where you stop them, looked like Jordan might have gotten in there a little bit, and then the last 2 being able to force them to the field goal, and the one misses and then the one goes in, but the defense kind of keeping it out of the end zone those last 3 when they were in your territory.
Yeah, 4th and 1, you saw the week before at UCLA, they had gotten under center and just pushed the pile for a quarterback sneak. They actually fumbled the ball on the snap. The ball came out of there and came free, and I think their quarterback tried to pick it up and still try to squirt that. That's what happened. I saw the ball come out, and then I was wondering, how did he pick it up again? But obviously just watching and hearing what the rest of that right there is that they were able to get him down. So that's a huge play, a huge momentum swing for us. And then at the end there, they popped that run on 1st down, and to go and hold them and force a field goal was a phenomenal job by the defense, giving us the opportunity to go in there and certainly be aggressive, have a chance to go win the game, attack, and try to score a touchdown, which, we did.
Front right here, AJ, right behind you.
Coach, what really caught my eye today was the toughness of the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. That was a point of emphasis of yours going into the season. How did you translate it from a point of emphasis to action on the field?
Well, it's been the thing from the beginning. I am thankful for the fact that I got to grow up as an offensive lineman because it's our passion. And look, Coach Joe Salavea and Coach Alex Mirabal and Coach Woodle, and we all work together. And we have, if you watch the structure of our practice, it is completely designed to improve fundamentals and technique. And a huge portion of that is to make sure that we learn how to win the line of scrimmage, because the teams that end up playing in those really, cool games at the end of the year, they're pretty good at the line of scrimmage, and we felt that our guys with our strength and conditioning program, we could keep developing. I think that what really stands out in this whole thing is through our coaching staff, strength and conditioning, nutrition, our sports science center, our training staff, is player development here has taken on a new level. And from January till now, the investment it's really starting to pay off. It really is, because you see knockback, you see physicality, you see guys finishing blocks way downfield. You see, honestly, I have a lot of confidence on 4th and 1, Now, hey, they could bring 8, 9 guys next time and fly guys through some gaps, and you have to find a way. But it's going to be a huge staple of our program. We're not there yet. We know that. We got a lot to work on. But the line of scrimmage is always going to be a point of emphasis. We'll continue to do so, and we still got to get a lot better at it.
Back left.
Mario, I want to know how good does it feel to get this win against Washington, and why was winning this game, a rivalry game, so important to you and to this organization?
How good did that feel? Is that what we're asking? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's why you do it. To me, honestly, and I've told them all the time, I want the moments, to me, are what are so valuable for these players, because it validates everything. It validates all their work. It validates their investment. It validates their trust and belief with everything that they've gone through. And at the same time, it's a difference maker in their lives. Now, you might say, well, what's he talking about? I'm saying that when this whole hard work thing, and Inky Johnson said, it's undefeated. It really is. And when guys do this and they see this kind of result and they have this unbelievable feeling with their teammates of accomplishment, it's a life changer. It's a game changer. And how you approach your daily life activities, when you're the head of the household in the future. I'm talking about our players. So that's why to me, it was so important for them and for our program for the future. In terms of a rivalry game, this thing's as intense as it gets. They're a really good football program. They came to play and they threw their best shot, and I give credit to them. And we're always going to be first class, and when we win and then when we don't win. So hats off to them for their effort. But this was for our fan base, for the future of the program, for the season, for the Pac-12 race. It was immense, and it's only week 6. It's only week 6. So, and last time I checked, we're out of bye week. So, right, trying to make sure they see their families, go to the pancake house in the morning, get here in time for lifting and running and film work, clean it up, hand out players of the game, and move on to Washington State.
All the way in the back, Hayden.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the trust and belief, but what does it say about the overall resolve of this team? You know, that loss against Stanford, some teams, that could have derailed some teams' season, but what does it just say about the resolve of your team?
It shows everything you want your football team to be, our football team to be. There's no I, there's no me in this thing. It's everybody, every administrator, every single trainer, every single strength staff, everybody, every analyst or whatnot. To me, it shows that if you build a good relationship with your players and you build trust with each other, you could find a way through your toughest moments. And those were dark. I thought it was tough 2 weeks ago. I think we all know that 3 weeks ago. That was about as tough as it gets for all of us. And all the credit goes to the players, all of it, the staff as well. I can't say enough about just how much energy and time they put into not only the X's and O's, but how much they invest in our players. And again, the development of so many older guys, younger guys just stepping up. You know, I think it's something that Oregon football and the staff is going to be known for going forward, is the way we develop players. A lot of time in player development.
Front left, Matt.
What do you make of your defensive line and the pressures that you were able to get on Jake Browning, and maybe the depth that you've showed even being able to stand Carl Berg's ejection?
Yeah, that guy's a great player. Browning's a great player. Carl Berg's ejection, that was a tough one to swallow. And I thought, you know, we honestly say this before we walk out locker room. There's no penalty. There's no injury. There's no tough play. There's no circumstance or situation that we cannot overcome with our training and our resolve and our persistence, perseverance. And right away, that thing hit in a hurry and caught everybody off guard, but nobody flinched and they kept going. So credit to all those guys popping in there. Gary Baker, Sione popped in there. The way we're moving, you know, Jalen jokes around all over the place. Hollins continues to play at a high level. Troy Dye jumping in there. I mean, a lot of guys played banged up today. I'm sure you saw that. You know, guys coming on, coming off all the time. And it was hard to keep them off the field. They kept fighting to get back in. Always cleared, of course, medically. We don't put our players at risk in any way, shape, or form. But what does it say about them? It says everything about them as relentless competitors and first-class football players.
Back middle, Austin.
Mario, in a big game like this, when you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, I think a lot of times people want to see the quarterback come out slinging it, but you were really patient with the running game, first down. Was that part of the game plan? Was that something you saw from Washington, or was that just wanting to kind of set a tone and a message?
Well, we just were going to attack them where we felt that we could continually move the ball, move the sticks, at the same time keep our defense off the field. You know, they've got a good offense too. They wear on you, they lean on you. They're big, long guys, long levered guys, heavy guys. We were down from with Carl Berg being out as well from a number standpoint, and you know they cover well. And sometimes by covering well, you give up something else in the run game. So whether it's in the run game or the pass game, we're going to attack a defense by what they show or where they show a weakness. And, you know, sometimes it's not going to be, 35, 40 passes. Sometimes it's going to be getting downhill in the running game. And in this game, believe it or not, going into the game, a 3-yard run on first down is actually a good play because they've been so good. They have held opponents. And before last week, I think they were the top scoring defense in the country. And they were really stoning the run game really well. And we felt that if we could get underneath their pads and start getting some movement and knocking it back, that we could eventually just wear this thing down and get some good chunk runs. And, I think the game plan worked to how we felt it could. We went down there, missed a field goal. We went down in the second half and also on a bootleg. I know Justin would like to have one back on that one counter he read where he felt he could beat the end. The end kind of surfed on him. And he tried to beat him, but then he had the nickel was also showing, so he couldn't get out of it and had to go down right there. But besides those two drives right there, I think a lot of things kind of worked out like we thought that they could, and execution, a lot of phases were at a pretty good level, pretty high level.
We have time for two more. We're going Jason and then Tyson.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Adversity moving forward. You got a tough team next week up there who really slings the ball. They've beaten Oregon 3 times in a row. But looking at it, you guys outplay Stanford and lose, at the end. You win a road game, and then you win this game. How well are you guys now prepared to face some adversity? I mean, this was such a huge win and huge 3 games in that respect.
Well, success sometimes is a little bit more dangerous than defeat, right? So you're always on guard for that. Human nature is what it is. That's our fight as coaches every day, modern day. You have to continually just fight human nature and make sure that the casual feel never sets into your program. What's going to be written this week? There were 2 stories written before this game, right? Great job, Oregon, or tough loss. So the story was already written, and that can't have anything to do with our process. We got to go back. We were 1-0 for the week, which was the goal. And, when we come to work tomorrow, it's the whole goal. It's a new game plan. It's a new opponent. It's wipe the slate clean and do everything humanly possible to get on track and invest in preparation. And we're not even thinking about the game itself, but prepare for an entirely different scheme offensively, defensively, and special teams-wise. They do a bunch of stuff that we haven't seen yet. So we quickly change the channel right away. And again, when things like this happen, it's easier to change the channel. You know what I mean? There's more belief. There's more. It's like, wow, we can be a pretty good football team. So that's what we'll do.
Tyson.
Just speaking of stories written this week, there was one that it was basically that Mario Cristobal has Oregon ahead of schedule. Do you think that's true? Are you guys ahead of schedule? Like how do you view this season and where you guys are at?
I just like the way Oregon football plays. This ain't a Mario Cristobal thing. And I think as we go forward, I think you guys will see that I eat more humble pie than, is out there. And for the right reasons. I'm a lineman, brother, So to me, it's all about serving. To me, guys like Rob Mullins, the administration, the players in there, the coaches, they are grinding as much as anybody else. So we're in this together. We're moving forward. I'll put it this way. We're progressing. We got pretty high expectations for ourselves. We just don't share them with the outside world because it'll be bulletin board material.
Thank you, Coach.
Guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you guys all rush the field at the end.